In the modern space race, the difficulty of reaching orbit is only the first hurdle. To achieve true market dominance, a company can no longer function as a simple hardware vendor. It must control the entire infrastructure loop. This necessity drove Rocket Lab to announce a definitive agreement to acquire Iridium Communications for $8 billion. The deal, valued at $54 per share, is supported by a $3.6 billion bridge loan to cover the cash component of the transaction. Before this merger, Rocket Lab's business rested on two established pillars. The first is its reputation as a premier commercial launch provider, known for frequent small satellite launches and precise orbital delivery. The second pillar is their robust in-house manufacturing and design capability. They build nearly every component of their rockets and spacecraft themselves, maintaining tight control over their supply chain. CEO Peter Beck refers to this model as a three-legged stool. Rocket Lab had launch and manufacturing, but they lacked the application, the proprietary network required to generate continuous, high-margin revenue once a mission is complete. Operating without that final pillar forces a company to constantly find new buyers for its hardware. This model leaves the massive, long-term profits generated by satellite services entirely to the customers who bought the launch in the first place. Iridium provides the necessary third leg by bringing an active, global constellation of 66 low Earth orbit satellites under Rocket Lab's direct control. The acquisition includes Iridium's most valuable technical asset, its globally coordinated L-band spectrum. These specific radio frequencies are highly sought after because they provide reliable connectivity even in extreme weather or through physical obstructions. This network provides voice, data, and positioning services specifically designed for environments where standard cell towers and GPS are unavailable. It is the primary infrastructure for communication in the most remote, off-the-grid regions of the planet. This infrastructure supports over 2.5 million active subscribers. The user base integrates into critical sectors, including maritime fleets, global aviation, and heavy industrial operations. This transaction secures an entrenched position in the global communications market. Rocket Lab has effectively bypassed the multi-decade lead time required to build a resilient, licensed satellite network from the ground up. Maintaining a constellation of 66 satellites is an expensive, on-dawn process. Historically, Iridium had to pay third-party providers significant fees to manufacture and launch every replacement satellite for their network. The merger removes these external margins. Rocket Lab will now use its own factories and rockets to refresh the Iridium constellation at cost, capturing the savings that previously went to outside contractors. Beyond cost savings, Rocket Lab inherits Iridium's recurring cash flow. In 2025, the network generated $871 million in revenue and $495 million in operating earnings. This capital allows direct reinvestment. Rocket Lab can now use these profits to fund next-generation rockets and satellite designs. The unit economics create a closed-loop system. The manufacturing pillar builds the network, and the network subscription fees fund the next phase of manufacturing, solving the growth constraints of both companies simultaneously. This integrated platform will now target emerging high-margin sectors. They're positioning themselves for the rise of direct-to-device consumer services and the connectivity requirements of autonomous industrial robotics. The deal also has significant geopolitical weight. Rocket Lab was already a prime contractor for the Space Development Agency, and this merger allows them to offer end-to-end military systems, from launch to ground operations. By controlling the full stack of space technology, Rocket Lab has emerged as a vital American counterweight to SpaceX's current dominance in the military space market. However, the path forward is heavily contested. They face direct competition from Starlink's massive scale and rapid expansion from companies like AST SpaceMobile, who are both racing to dominate the satellite-to-phone market. There are internal challenges as well. Iridium's growth has slowed to roughly 3% annually in recent years as its legacy broadband business winds down, putting the pressure on Rocket Lab to find new ways to monetize the spectrum. Regulatory and contract risks also loom. A significant portion of Iridium's revenue is tied to government agreements that are currently up for renewal, which may lead to renegotiated rates and lower margins. Despite the intense competition and renewal risks, this deal transforms Rocket Lab into a fully self-sufficient space prime. They now control every phase of the mission, from the initial factory build to the final data transmission in orbit.